Hello, welcome back team. There's one thing that you might have noticed that's changed somewhat. Some of the long-term viewers will remember that I was using a short wheelbase, low roof, old style, I say old style, ancient style, generation Transit. It was a 91. Now, it was brilliant, did the job. But we've stepped up the game. We're now into the 2000s. It's actually a 2000 and it's a 53, but I believe it's an 04. So I'll have to check on that. But full Transit, long wheelbase, medium roof, 125 PS. It's 125 PS, T350, long wheelbase, medium roof, 5-speed manual. Transit. It's inside. At the back, you can't see this again. Got a step, obviously tow bar, security locks. Still got the sign writing on it, but this is my new racing van, and it is solely for racing. So I don't have the issue of having to keep loading and unloading the van every time I want to go racing. It's all here. Yeah, ignore that. I started on getting the sign writing off, got the actual sign writing off, but then the paint, the colour change, deterioration over the years of it being on. I've had to started mopping the bonnet, and kind of got no further yet. There's a couple of issues I've got with this van, the way it is. Two things. One, it's a medium roof. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a step up from a low roof, but it's annoying, really annoying. Whatever you want to do, you're about that much too short on the roof. There's a table I take with me racing. It's just under 6 foot. Hey, I can't stand that up. That's got to lay down. Again, not really an issue. It's still a step up. The other thing, also standing up. You do this, you end up like the Hunchback of Notre Dame after 15 minutes of being in it. Again, don't get me wrong, it's a step up from what I had, so please don't think I'm complaining or moaning about what I've got. It's for the price I paid for this. I'll suffer that. The other thing, the rear diff in this, or the van, it's a, as I said, 125 T350. It's got a 6-ton train weight, which means the van at 3.5 ton plus a further 2.5 ton behind it, or the van at 1,600 kilos or 2 ton and 4 ton behind it. Whatever, 6 tons total, this and trailer, with the van not going any more than 3.5. Because to get that, Ford's decided to put a different rear diff in. And as far as I know, there's 3 variants of diff. There's a 465, a 511 and a 588 rear diff. This has got a 588 rear diff, and it's silly. It's really silly. 3,000 RPM in fifth on this size tyre, which is a, let's just check, somewhere around here, there we go, 205 75 16. So it's not a low profile tyre, it is a 75 profile. 3,000 RPM in fifth is 52 mile an hour. That's stupid. So to keep up with trucks, I'm having to do 3,400 in a diesel. Its rev limit's probably like 4.7. I don't know. It's not got a rev counter. And that's why they did it. They didn't put a rev counter in because they'd see that you're making it scream. Pros and cons. Obviously, if you want to get on the motorway, it's screaming. Therefore, it's horrendous on fuel. When I'm towing with this, I'm averaging 21 mpg. UK mpg, that is. So we have the bigger gallon rather than the Americans. That's horrendous. Unladen, so not towing, nothing in the back. The best I've ever had is 28, and the worst is 20. Yeah, you're looking with something in the back, 24, 25, towing 20, 21. Yeah, it has its advantages in the fact of where other people are slowing down and struggling with hills, this doesn't care. It really doesn't. It just keeps motoring and just it romps up hills. But obviously you want to sit on the motorway for 2 hours, you're going to want to bring some ear defenders because it does get loud even if you're following trucks. Now obviously the legal towing limit speed is 60 mile an hour and pretty much vans is 60 mile an hour, but you're still making it scream. 60 mile an hour on sat nav is 65 indicated, so speedo's a little bit out, but yeah. When it come to me when I bought it, there was no, well, I say no known issues. There was a couple, one of which is a bit of paint flake. Someone's nailed that with a forklift, and also just round the rear tubs there's a bit of rot there, so that will all be cured. The exterior bodywork I don't think I'm going to do. The bit of rot around the rear tubs I will definitely do. What I'll do for the outside is I'll just send it round to my mate's body shop, mainly because the time and effort I'd have to put into it and the money to get all the bits I'd need, it's not worth it. Just send it round to him, it'll be done. It's a van at the end of the day, it's not got to be perfect, as long as it's sort of white, winner. Yeah, so I'll just ship it round to him. But let's take a tour of the inside. Oh look, it's a van. No airbag. 5-speed. Yeah, it's got a tape player. Woo! Got my captain's chair with my armrest. I like armrests now in vans. Yeah, apart from that, it's 3 seats. You can fit 3 big blokes in there. It's not uncomfortable. But the bit that probably you all want to see, it's not finished yet. I have been working on it. I've been doing more of trying it for a meeting. Like this, don't like that, change it round. Big toolbox up the front, try and get some weight over the front axle so not everything's on the rear axle. Let's step in and you'll see what I mean about this height thing. So, here we are. My body's upright and my head's sort of kicked over. Not really too much of an issue, but ow, light. Tablet, TV, Xbox, compressor. Ooh, light. Compressor hose, mounted, bolted to the frame. Light up there on that little bit of room above the cab. I've got 4 fold out chairs. Got my speakers. I've got the nest of wires. And before people start jumping up and down going, that's a fire hazard, all that is plugged in at the minute, and it's drawing 98 watts, including the strobe light. My phone's on charge, tablet's on charge, all my GoPro stuff's on charge. Ooh, that's about the same as a light bulb. Never mind. Right, let me just grab a light. I do have, actually, right here, do have LED strip lights, but the leisure battery's not in yet, so we're kind of not quite there. That bit there, this is a bed. Folds down, these legs swing out, drop down. Got some stuff. That there is that table I was talking about. You can't stand up. More stuff. I've got a rack. Obviously, my awning just about stands up. Hand towel. Yeah, rack. Got some stuff on here. Obviously, Xbox games. You know, fuel line. Engine crane. Engine! And there's a gearbox down there attached to the back of it. Spare radiator. Fluids. Extension cable. There is a fire extinguisher just over the back there. Axle stands. Fuel. They are empty. Some more over there. They're empty. That one there is a water container, empty. There's some underneath. There's some more fluids. Those boxes in there, nuts and bolts and spares and stuff. There's some cabling. There's my washy bucket for washing the car. There's more washy stuff. That's the Civic seat. Yes, that is a Civic seat. And we'll have a little sit down. This van is not a camper and it's not a service truck. It's kind of a bit of both. I don't know what the lighting's like, I can't see my face. So. That hurt. There's a bright light. It's not one, it's not the other, and it's neither both. So, yeah, it's not one, it's not the other, it's both, and it's neither. Obviously, I have to go racing in this, so it's got to have my tools. Hence why I have 40-inch roll cab that is filled with stuff like tools, and that's stuff that hopefully I don't need, but if I'm in trouble I will need it. So yeah, the other thing is it's also got to be able to sleep me, and we've had 3 people sleeping in here at the beginning of the year, which you think it's a tight squeeze. It is, but it's not so much of an issue. Fold the bed down, one on top, one underneath, one by the side. Yes, it's definitely no you know, Hilton hotel or anything like that, but it is suitable. I've done many a night on that bed, and the legs are too long, so the bed is kind of like that, but it works. And the reason it works is it stops me rolling out of bed and landing on something next to me or someone. So we've had 3 in here at the beginning of the year, 2 later on in the year, and me on my own at multiple points. So it's comfortable. The engine is, the top of the engine is below this hinge point, so you can fit an engine in there, fold the bed down over the top, no issues. Yeah, as I was saying, it's also got a double up as when racing's finished, some sort of entertainment and sleeping quarters. So obviously if it's a 2-day meeting, stuff like the awning will be out, the table will be out, the toolbox won't be out. I haven't got a forklift. You know, things will be out. There's a lot more space when things are out. Obviously, it's just parked in the workshop, and I'm using it as like a mobile workshop kind of thing, obviously. Yeah, so there's a lot more space, but you can actually seat 4 people in here on the chairs, and you can all be watching telly or watching Netflix or playing on the Xbox. And if it's absolutely squirting down outside, you don't want to be sat in the tent, cold, probably wet. There's the little heater thing down there. It's just a 2 kilowatt on flat out heater, 1 kilowatt on half power. It heats this up perfectly fine. Behind here, behind the walls, there's some like sort of heat proofing stuff. So even when it's 0 degrees outside, crack the heater on and it warms up quite nicely. It is still a van. You still do have condensation on the roof up there, but it's not a massive issue. You can get past it. There's more work to be done. There's a fridge to go up in that corner right there. The battery, leisure battery, is going to go behind the compressor, and the inverter, which is there, is going to go behind there. And yeah, the battery and inverter combination is enough to charge a couple of things, run the telly, run the Xbox for about 3.5 hours. That's enough. Yeah, there's it's a work in progress. Obviously, we'll see how it goes, how we get on with things. That was the other thing I don't think I've covered. Just jump outside. There's lights on the roof. I paid good money for these. They weren't cheap. They were like 25 quid each. I've got 4 of them. One there, one at the back there, and 2 at the back doors. The reason I paid good money for them is they're powerful, properly powerful. They're properly bright, they're low energy usage, and they're not Mickey Mouse, eBay, Ching Chong Chow ones. They're proper Maypole commercial ones. Right at the beginning of the year, I literally picked the van up, threw a tow bar on it, picked the trailer up, threw the car on the trailer, and went straight to Cadwell Park with basically things thrown in the van. I had no idea of how to load it because I've never loaded it before. I knew I wasn't overweight because there wasn't that much in there. But anyway, we get to Cadwell Park. This was April time. We got there about 8 o'clock. Yeah, it was like 5 hours in this. Mainly because we had to go through the back roads and you're towing, and idiots on the other side of the road, and people not realising, oh, there's a van coming towards me. Oh, the trailer wheels poke out further than the van does. Oh, I can see that. No, they just come tearing towards you, park up next to you, and then can't work out where you're not moving. Oh, brilliant, thanks, mate. Yeah, I had that quite a few times. Anyway, we get to Cadwell Park, and I've got my head torch on. I've got a couple of torches stuck on the side of the van. Everyone's running around with like a handheld flashlight thing, and we're trying to get everything out because we've got 3 people standing in the van, so we need everything out. We're trying to set the tent up, trying to put the sides on, the table. We're trying to do it in the pitch black, and I just thought to myself, I don't care how much it costs. I need some lights on the roof of this because this is silly. Obviously, I'm wearing a head torch, so I can't look at someone, otherwise I blind them. People can't look at the van because where the torches were, they'd get blinded. And then we come up, during the meeting, we come up with the idea of these. On our phone, looking through Google Images. Oh, I like that. So they're going to run off the leisure battery. They're bright enough that they illuminate like a 10 foot away from the van, probably more, 12 foot by the entire length. The back ones are for obviously when you're trying to load the car, and there are actually 2 more on the trailer, which we'll get to that later. Yeah, I went on a little bit of a mad lighting spree after Cadwell when I had a really, really bad meeting, and not having them didn't help. Van, yeah, no van, you'll be seeing some stuff from this. As far as engine work goes, she's been absolutely diamond so far. Obviously she'll need the normal servicing, filters, stuff like that, oils. She's going to need a dual mass and clutch at some point. To be honest, it's not rattling yet, but it's not far from it. It's only done like 75,000 miles, 73. It doesn't need injectors yet. It's the older type twin spring mechanical rather than the later piezoelectrics. Yeah. There's going to need to be some work done on this, but that's sort of another story for another time. I'll go. I think I've sort of got the hang of mopping it, so we'll do another video about that. About getting the sign writing off. I was probably see on the side. Don't know how well that's going to come out. Just about see it there, but you can definitely see it there. You can see what bits I've got off, but obviously you can see the paint, the colour difference, and then you can see what bits I haven't got off. So this needs to come off, and then I'll show you how to get this off and then how to polish it. Apart from that, I love it. It's brilliant. I kind of get to, you know, I've not got to sort someone else's stuff out. I can go whenever I want. And obviously the trailer's mine now as well. So it's like, right, I'm going tomorrow. Where are you going? Snetterton. But what? No, it's all loaded, done, everything ready. I'm going to Snetterton tomorrow. When did you decide this? 10 minutes ago. Bye. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's a complete godsend. That needs some work. Toys, bolt-on bits. Yeah. 20 odd minutes with me rambling on about a van. I'm happy with it. So happy with it. Couple of things, but it doesn't take away from how happy I am. It's brilliant. Obviously there'll be engine service work. There'll be a bit of welding in the back. We'll go through more about the back stuff later in another video. And I'll see you all soon, hopefully, for that. Fingers crossed. If you like the content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again soon. Ciao.